Well, how big is their space?
I mean, here's something that was 2-3 years ago. And
That's a
Almost-
wraparound, that
yeah,
building's a
almost
wraparound
3,000.
of the Crossroads redevelopment plan is why it's up for discussion. When you did Crossroads, came down the river, went up 73, and they grabbed that last piece, and that's the last piece they grabbed right on Haddonfield Road. That's
almost-
why it's on.
Almost 3,000 square feet. Are you okay with that?
yeah,
Okay. Items, I had one other, this is more information. The Little Caesars, that was right across the street, they sold, this, the business sold, not the property, but the business sold. So the business now has a new owner, and I just want to, pass it on.
Called Big Caesars.
Larry, the
franchise.
Bachelor's old funeral home, I see they tore down the, can you bring us up to date on that?
Actually, no, I can't. I'm not familiar with what they're doing, I forget.
what about the famous, our famous non-open pretzel place on Maple and Haddon? They got equipment in there,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. They have to get their CO, and I talked to Gary, about last week, and he said at that time they were about a couple weeks away, so we'll see.
Did you touch base with Gary because the gas company was there a couple weeks ago, excavated for that lot, and now Maple Avenue is caving in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We got a couple homes there, but it's sinking fast. Could you get somebody on that soon?
Larry, if you'd follow up on that, because we had when the
Excuse me.
Asian market moved in,
Right.
and they wanted to do a lot of things on that property. And we met with the residents and the owners, and there were certain criteria that the neighbors were concerned about. Just make sure that whatever's going there abides by what we said back there when the Asian market opened up. Something about a fence, they didn't want any entrances from the resident side, just from 38. Just make sure whatever they're doing, they understand what the parameters are.
And the other, did you speak with Ryan Stoper? He's J&O Fabrics?
Yeah,
Okay.
about another location.
Yeah, well, but it's not for the fabrics. He
Right,
was
for the-
looking to, because I spoke to him the other day, he was looking to have high-end rental of like exotic cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, all sorts of things, and he was looking, yeah.
Put the
they
fabric
could
on
rentals?
them and-
Yeah,
Rent 'em.
20,000
Okay.
a month. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Company in Pennsauken.
And he's talking about, renovating where, right next to the Wicker place or something like that. And I said, look, Ryan, you gotta go through the process.
It's probably old
here.
Edmunds,
Yeah.
Edmunds Auto Body
Yeah.
was there right
Yeah,
behind.
we did talk to him. It was, I think when we talked to John, we had a little conference call. There was issue with the zoning. Like,
Yeah.
he would have to go through zoning.
You'd have to go through zoning, yeah.
So that's where it
Okay, so
stands
you
now.
guys, he did call you, okay.
Is that the Water to Go building and the Wicker building? Is that the
Next
one
door.
that's
Yeah.
No, it's Edmunds
Edmunds
Auto.
Auto.
You know where
Oh,
the, remember the car places on the corner?
Yeah,
Right
okay.
next to it, there used to be, there's about 5 or 6 garages they used to
Right.
lease
Okay.
out to different people to fix cars. And they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
And
Edmunds
Auto
Auto
Body,
Body.
okay.
And he was
Alright.
thinking about blowing them out, putting a big window in there and having these fancy cars and then you come in and apparently there's a market for it.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's that guy on Hill
I'm a little
Road.
old to take somebody to a prom, we go over there, grab a Lamborghini or,
Yeah, well, he said,
What's the insurance?
he said like they would pick up people from New York that
Yeah.
fly into New York from maybe the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, he
Because you have a lot of
started
things going on
with
in Philly and
3
stuff.
cars and, somebody was doing him a favor, storing the cars and everything, got 20.
John, you used to have 4 of them.
Okay, yeah, I had 4 of them, yeah.
All right, but I'll look into that,
Yeah,
for both, for what you said, Rick and Jack.
Thank you.
The other one was item for discussion. Just want to let you know we're going to have we've been meeting with the County Economic Development Department. When I say we, the Chamber of Commerce, the big council. We are going to hold a co-host event April 27th for businesses where we're going to combine economic summit and buy local. basically buy local in the township so we can keep dollars here, showing how effective it is in terms of helping the local economy, as well as buy local in Camden County. And then if you need to go further, but start in those two places. So we're gonna have exhibits and things like that. We will have, the mayor would speak, as well as the freeholder director who is in charge of economic development. And we're gonna have sponsorships, all this stuff. It looks like it's a pretty good event that we will have. It'll be held at the Savoy, and it starts at 11:30 till about 2:30.
On that same line, Larry, if you and Frank would get your heads together, something we had mentioned a while ago, we have that business directory. There's some way we can,
Actually, I do have an update on that, sir.
okay, to get something up on the web so residents can go for various.
The Business Council is working on compiling another searchable database
Okay.
online, specifically for all the businesses in town. It's a cleaned up list, so there's not too many ones that are, to our knowledge, that have kind of are no longer there.
Right.
We're going to be posting that, we're relaunching the Business Council's website in about 9 weeks or so.
Okay.
That's our kind of tentative schedule, so there should be something there. We're also working on all around Pennsauken to have an insert in the paper in the coming months to have a list of businesses, kind of like another version of the business directory that'll go out to our residents.
And like, for instance, how would that work? If I'm looking for an electrician, I could go to that site, put an electrician, and all the registered electricians that
We're
are.
working on the breakdown for the categories now, actually
Okay.
talked with the web developer today about that. He has a list, we're just working on breaking it down into searchable categories.
Okay.
And like Frank said, just to piggyback, there'll also be an insert, I believe it's May or August. The insert is gonna be an insert in the all-around Pennsauken, a pullout that every resident would get with the business list, that they would again be able to have an answer.
Great.
Great.
So it'll, as we get more concrete information on that, we'll
Thank
make some
you.
announcements.
So anyway, so the buy local, that was more informative, and we're gonna treat you to lunch too.
I buy my own lunch.
The land pharmacy, that's on Westfield Avenue, 5509, that's the Vietnamese pharmacy that he's real close to opening. They want to install security gates, and I went out to check, because they have drugs that are, they want to make sure they're protected. And I did check Rite Aid. Rite Aid has a pull-down gate as well as Walgreens. So they're just requesting, they want to make sure they can have that. I probably could check, but I didn't get a chance to check with one of the detectives to see if they did get one of those security type gates, they want to make sure that it's something that you can see through, kind of, instead of a solid. So if it is approved, I will follow up with the detective first, and then let them know that it is approved.
Well,
based on-
conceptually it is, so, I mean.
Yeah. And again, like I said, Walgreens and Rite Aid, I knew Walgreens had it because we had approved them a while ago, but I wasn't even sure about Rite Aid. And then I looked and I went inside and took some photos and all, but they have the pull down as well. Most times when they do it after closure, so a lot of times you're not up on that.
Yeah, CBS has the gate, the
Yeah.
black iron gate that goes across.
Yeah. So, that's one. And then the other is Tony's Auto Service, which is right here, right over here, across from the Burger King, on the other side of the highway. Excuse me, I apologize. They are looking for a used car license, not to sell, but to be able to transport vehicles from other facilities. So he thinks he can increase his work, his workout, but he can get more work there. And he hopes to also be able to hire some extra people. But that's all. And again, if he did approve that, used car license, similar to the guy that did the car detail. Yeah, Machos, where he was doing the car detailing. So he just wants a used car license, just so he can have the.
They do differentiate, only have it in that category for transport, or could he sell cars with that too?
No, we actually, because I think we did that with the Macho,
Okay.
with the resolution. You guys okay
Is
with
he
it?
gonna work on all those cars on that lot then? Is that just increasing the amount of cars on his lot every day? Does that?
To be honest, I don't know if that would increase.
He
Usually
wants to work
does
on
it.
those cars there?
It usually doesn't, it's just transporting, especially if it's a new car, just transporting from one place to the other. If you have it and it's not registered,
I see.
it's just
You
a
have to
new
be,
car
okay,
twice.
I got you.
Well, your question too is you wanna make sure he doesn't start storing more and more.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
we
there's
placed a
some-
limit, last time, I think we placed a limit on the number of cars that they could have on the lot,
Okay.
so we can actually.
And we can
include that
research to make sure that we keep within that before we do.
Thank you.
Well, I know it's tentatively approved, but with the research, we'll find out how many exactly.
Anything else, Larry?
No, that's it, actually.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Larry.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Yep.
So, buddy.
Next item for discussion, the updated fee schedule for cleanups and other work performed by Public Works.
That will be, if you guys are okay with it, then that would be on for first reading at the next public meeting.
What it did with the, we have a fee, it was put in there, the fees are done if you have a cleanup or something that goes on in town, these are loaded rates that we have on the books, so nobody can come back and say, you charge me this, you charge me that, for published rates that we would charge the residents.
Good. And the chapter 251 amended rental registrations.
That just cleans up a portion of the code. There was a slight discrepancy. One place said inspections 12 months, and another place it said 24. So we just have to bring them in line. We had, there had been an amendment to the code back in '08, which had changed it to 12 months, so this is just cleaning it up.
Okay, we'll move on here. Agenda items, old business, ordinance on second reading, ordinance 2012-01.
Just information on Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
Country Club revenues.
Again, 201202, informational only. It's the second reading.
Yes, so the one with regard to the,
Fire prevention.
that'll be on for second reading on the 7th of March, and the first one will be on for second reading next week.
Okay, we have new business ordinance, first reading none, resolutions, matter of little discussion, none, country club said revenues. They're happy to be open, they're off to a good start, and, since they were closed, since they were closed January last year, and they're not having a bad February either, from what I understand.
Supposed to be halfway decent this weekend, so all good keep.
Payment of the bills, Gene?
Non-budgeted items for January, $23,872.16. Budgeted items for January, $871,013.62. For February, non-budgeted, $72,592.93. And budgeted for February, $10,619,134.48.
Is there a motion to pay the bills?
Right.
Roll call, Gene?
Mr. Figueroa?
Yes.
Mr. Killian?
Yes.
Ms. McBride?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mayor Knopf?
Yes. And we'll set it up to public comment, just state your name and address, and we'll go from there.
Joanne Young, 6582 Park Avenue. I had emailed Jean a few months ago now, asking if the township has ever adopted a pay-to-play policy. And I was told that we didn't have one on the book, and I was wondering if it was ever considered or discussed whether the township should adopt a pay-to-play policy.
But we had answered that question a while back.
You may have, I don't remember
we don't.
being part
We
of the
do,
discussion.
fair and open.
We do a fair and open process for the selection of professionals, which is statutorily permitted. There are other municipal governments that have adopted a pay-to-play ordinance as part of the process. But you're not obligated to do that as long as you provide a fair and open process for the selection.